Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today we are going to do a roster review, so let's spin that wheel. Here we are. Let's spin this wheel and see who's the lucky man or lady who's going to get chosen. Alright, it looks like JKMiles. Yeah, JKMiles. Congratulations. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and see what your account has. All right, so JKMiles 2. Is there a JKMiles 1? With the Mandalore Brigade. All right, so you have SOKR, you have Executor, excellent. 5-star Executor, that's fine. Hopefully you're getting decent placement. 10 is okay. Top 5 is ideal. First every day is perfect. So whatever you can do, let me know. But that's the goal. 5.9 million GP overall, 3.3 in ships, 2.5 or 3.3 in characters, 2.5 in ships. A little less than a year, so probably some, yeah, definitely some Lightspeed bundle shenanigans going on in here. So we got some Rays, we got some SOKRs. I will say the press advantage is good. You do want that, so don't go with that hype with not getting all the Zetas on your GLs. You do. I understand that you're probably in a Zeta crunch, but you do want to do that. All right, so you have Starkiller, Iden, Darth Treya, Darth Revan, Savage, Kiadi Mundi. So you bought that bundle. Captain Rex. All right, so a good amount of stuff here. A lot of things. Honestly, from 9 months, this is a lot of things. So Marin, these accounts are really starting to get shocking with how much progress they can get in so little amount of time. So I really am happy about how different it is for new players. And yeah, you have to do a little bit of cash spend-ing, but this player essentially has access to like late-ish, mid to late game content. And that's great. They have access to everything in the game, where before at 9 months, we would like be hitting level 85 and have a bunch of like purples and a little bit of gear 12s. So now it's like it really does open up a good amount of the game, and that's what it's all about. So you have the comeuppance like fully fleshed out. So that's really shocking, actually. So you have the Radis. You probably put that on defense or something in GAC. It's a decent, it's okay, it's an okay decent defense. It absolutely destroys the Malevolence. So it's a good fleet. It's not as reliable against the Executor. It can win, but not as reliable. But overall, I'm not hating what I see here. This is a good amount of stuff. I will say, farm your pilot list ships. I don't see very many pilot list ships here, so farm them. Farm the Vulture Droid, Hyena Bomber, both the Y-wings, like all of them. You need all the pilot list ships for your fleets. Start using your Get 2 for Malevolence and get that up. Start getting that up and running. All right, so let's look at your bounty hunters. Decent overall for the Executor, so that's good. Let's look at your Galactic Republic overall. So you need that Y-wing. You need that BTL Y-wing. You gotta have it. You gotta have it for the Negotiator or the Marauder with a really strong Plo Koon starting for Anakin's, and then it's not as important. But right now you have kind of like a standard Negotiator. You need that Y-wing. There's absolutely no reason not to have it. So start putting that as far, and the Separatists, start farming those. So finish the Vulture Droid, finish the Hyena Bomber, finish those Y-wings. Let's look at your Rebels real quick. So yeah, this is okay. So once you start getting your Rebels up and running, as far as your Han's Millennium Falcon and your pilotless Rebel ship, this will be really good. So you're on the precipice of having like a really decent fleets, because if you have a good amount, that's good, because you need Grand Arena. Like Radis is okay, Home One is okay, it can be really good, Negotiator is good, Finalizer can be good, Executor is good, Chimera is good. Like all these fleets, Malevolence is amazing. So it kind of falls off a little at the end, but you know, it's a mid game to late game. It does a lot for you. Even right now, I'm in Kyber 2. I use 9.5-ish million GP, and I use the Malevolence all the time. It cleans up executors, it beats negotiators, it beats chimeras, really reliable even with the scythe. So I use it all the time. I really do like that fleet, so I would highly recommend it overall. So that just continue side farming your fleet ships, including the TIE Echelon. I understand you don't have fleet credits. It's gonna come over time. Like, what you have to do and how you combat that is you just like focus on one fleet at a time. So your prestige, as you level up your stars, should go to executor, and then from there you can you know, your negotiators probably pretty much fully built. You just need that Y-wing, then you should go into the Malevolence, and then after you do that you can do like Finalizer, and then Chimera, and then Radis, and etc, etc. Like, just one fleet at a time. Get these ships upgraded, put those ship Omegas, try to save them for abilities that are needed. So don't put them for like does plus 15% more damage. Try to use ship Omegas for ships that are going to be transformative abilities. You want the abilities that are like really transformative, and if it's just like a little bit of damage, then it can wait. But you need to start getting all your fleets up, and so you have to be a little more stingy with those ship Omegas, and just like slowly as you can use your fleet credits to get these fleets up and running in order that makes most sense, focusing on one fleet at a time. And it's not like you have to update or upgrade every single ability for every single ship. You just have to use critical thinking. Is this going to help me? Is it going to help my fleet? Is it critical to the fleet? And then start working on that. All right, so that's your fleet stuff. Let's look at your characters. So you have a lot of good things in here. So your resistance is good. Your first order is good. You have Star Killer. That's good. Let's see. Unaligned force users. So I will say this. You don't need Visas Mar. You can completely skip her. You can get Cal Kestis up and running if you wanted to, and he can slot into a raid team or into a Star Killer team. Elevates both those teams, can be pretty good. Definitely not a priority, but if you wanted to and you were going for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis for something, then having that Cal up and running, slotting into a Star Killer array until you have Malicos to fit into Seer would be good, but not a priority for me, and that's not what I'm telling you to do. Right now, what you should be doing is focusing on your assault battles. So Relic 5 for Dark Trooper would be really good. You don't do this where you're equipping gear 12 pieces before they're ready, but pretty much even Relic 4 is fine on Dark Trooper. I would maybe get, like, you have Moff Gideon gear 12. This is perfectly fine as long as you have them fully modded. Just don't use Control the Situation and you'll be perfectly fine for the assault battles. So this is fine too. So you can go with Piet, Dark Trooper, Veers, Moff Gideon, Range Trooper. Should be able to do all the assault battles. You will want Suborbital Strike for the Rebel one. Makes it a lot easier. You don't want a crit damage set on Piet. You want a speed set. You want him to be fast, as fast as you can. He's the one who like starts the turn meter. You can do it with Moff Gideon, but yours is like crazy slow. So you are missing a mod here, but you still, yeah, but it's still pretty slow. I can imagine it's not going to be like that crazy fast even with that one mod. So overall, like, you want Piet to start the turns, and then Dark Trooper does all the damage and the rest support. So you don't need his Zeta. You do want him to, you need to fix these mods. Honestly, your mod situation is really bad. Not that surprising for 9 months. Just watch my mod guides. I said this in a recent video, but if you look here in my Discord, you can see my playlist. So building plus 25 speed mods and my entire mod playlist. Honestly, I would recommend watching this entire mod playlist, and especially paying close attention on this, how to build plus 25 speed mods, because you don't have to have like a ton of mod income, but as long as you understand mod potential and what needs to be worked or not, then this is going to help you. And then the entire mod list, even especially my mods 101, that's kind of where I see your mod understanding, and you just need to get a better understanding of actual mods. So That's what I would recommend, is just watching that, trying to understand it, because you have to have, yeah, so like your star killer, he doesn't have to be fast, but your mods are just exceptionally bad, like exceptionally bad. So yeah, so a crazy slow SLKR. This isn't the worst I've ever seen, but I do want more. Like these are really bad mods, so I'm not going to touch on your mods anymore. Just watch those guides, please understand them, get it up and running. That should be really good for you. I will say, you have Darth Revan, you have Jedi Knight Revan, do you have Sith Empire? All right, so if you get Darth Malak to Relic 3 and you get your Thrawn to Relic 3, then you can beat every single proving ground with SLKR. So that would be worth investing in. There, you can use Darth Traya for there sometimes, but you already have Malak, so I would recommend just taking Thrawn to Relic 3, taking Malak to Relic 3, and then boom, watch my guide on how to beat the Malgus proving grounds with SLKR, and then you will be able to beat every single proving ground with what you have here. You probably will need some better mods overall, but if you watch my mod guides, by the time you have Malak and Thrawn up and running, maybe you could just have 8, because you just need like 5 characters worth of mods, and then you can do almost any event as long as you have like a good at least 5 characters worth of mods in your account. So that's what I did very early game when I first started playing. I didn't have any mod income, but I was able to do all my unlocks and play the game because I was able to like I had 5 good mod sets at least, like minimum, and I was able to like take those sets and then move them on characters as I did events. So that's what I would recommend overall. Like well, first of all is do that. Next, I would get your Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon up and running. Take them to Relic 7. You already have some decent Jedi here because you bought the Lightspeed bundle. So this is good. You have the Luminara team up and running. So that's decent raid participation. Padawan Obi-Wan Master Qui-Gon will probably go on a second Jedi team or whatever you have for leftovers to try to get you a little more participation, as well as like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Shakti. I don't know what you can use as a lead there, but I'm sure you can figure out something to at least like get some better, a little more participation in there, because you can go Luminara, Plo Koon, Grandmaster Yoda, Kit Fisto, and Qui-Gon Jinn, and that can get you 1.2 million with this. Probably not with your mods, maybe like 1 million reliably, and then the rest you can throw into a second team. So not bad overall. So after you finish that, you have Phoenix, so I would start working on your CLS Rebels. Or do you have them up and running? No. So after you finish those 2, yeah, like I said, I would get your CLS Rebels, and you're in a great position here to go CLS into the Qui-Gon Bros into our Malak. Finish your Malak, Thrawn, Jedi Bros, CLS, Jedi Knight Luke, Jabba is what I would recommend. Take your CLS team to Relic 3, all of them. So 3PO and 2PO, CLS, Chewbacca, Han, C3PO. Relic 3 is a good baseline. Once you start working on like JML, Jabba, and Leia, you'll increase the relics of your entire teams. But baseline Relic 3, they'll pretty much do everything you need. They'll do the assault battle. They'll do conquest. They're really good teams. They could even do some proving grounds teams and 3-star. So overall, a good team. Next. After that, go for Jedi Knight Luke into Jabba. Side farms, you do have Traya. I would stop, like I said before, I would stop doing this and equipping gear 12 pieces. Just stop doing that. You're wasting them. Like, you have a finisher piece on Zalbar. That is wild. So that's just like you're wasting your gear here. So you should only upgrade a character once you have it ready to go to relics. But overall, like, you have a good start here for 9 months. This is like great progress. Datacrons, you're participating in Datacrons, so that's good. Just figure out the mod stuff, side farm your ships. I already gave you your farming pathways. And then I wouldn't, it looks like you're starting to go for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I wouldn't do that. You're way too early in the game for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. If your guild is pushing for Zepho and they're like, everyone's going to get Zepho ready, then go ahead and do it. Like if that's what you want to. Maybe after you have Darth Malik and Thrawn ready, so that you can do all the proving grounds, then maybe do Jedi Knight Cal Kestis into the Jedi Bros and the farming path I gave you. But remember, don't ignore your ships, don't ignore your assault battles. And then the Jabba farm is really great because it goes into Jabba, into JML, into Profundity, into Leia. And that'll give you a good amount of GLs, that'll give you 2 GL ships. And then you'll have 5 GLs, 2 GL ships. After that, you can you'll have most of the assault, if not all the assault battles. Then you can go into Inquisitors, into whatever you want. Honestly, at that point, I would probably go, you know, next G. Yeah, at that point, you're, you know, that's like years away, or a year or some change. So there's a lot you can go, and you don't have to specifically go that far. You can fit in new stuff, whatever you want. But as soon as you have Jabba, JML's like right around the corner. Profundity is probably good, having 4 GLs, 2 GL ships. At that point, you'll probably want Inquisitors so that you can get Reva. You'll have the Scythe and the TIE Interceptor that counters Leviathan, and then maybe you go for the next GL ship or something. I don't know. Up to you on what you want to do at that point. But overall, excellent progress for 9 months. I think this is a good account. You just need to figure out mods, watch those guides, like continue farming your ships, and go with that farming pathway, and you'll be good. But overall, thanks for letting me look at your account. A good account. If you guys have any comments, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.